What are the pitfalls of the new TOEFL test 2026? I passed the test to figure it out. Hey, I'm Sophia, an English lover and TOEFL-oriented tutor with a decent number of satisfied students. A month ago, I decided to take the new TOEFL test right from the forefront, as soon as the updated version is available on January 21st. What was unpredictable and how was the overall experience? After going through each section, I'll tell you why taking TOEFL test at the center might be a huge mistake. So let's dive into my test day. First of all, the test was delayed for a half of an hour, probably due to the new format. I used that time to warm up my speaking by small talk with other participants. Highly recommend that. The delay was probably because of the check-in. It took for about 5 minutes. They asked me to give a voice sample and took a photo. But 5 minutes for each participant is already 25. After the check-in, we entered a room with 6 sitting places. There were 5 of test takers, including me, 3 Balinese, 1 French, and me. The test started with reading. The first module included 35 questions and 20 minutes. The second was 5 questions and 5 minutes. The time management tips I used, I will share in the next video. Reading section was fine. The only thing that made me stuck was the complete the words task. Some words were so narrow, so specific, that it was literally impossible to figure out what the word actually is. So I just missed few words. Then it moved to listening. Actually, I didn't know how much time I would have to answer each question, and it turned out that I have 15 seconds for choose the best answer, and for about 30 for the academic discussion. So if 15 seconds for choose the best option is a mass of time, then for academic discussion, 30 seconds are not always enough. So, and again, tips and strategies I used, I would share in the next video. So don't forget to subscribe. And then writing. Actually, I thought that the short section would be speaking, so I was a little bit confused, but that's fine. I think that's even a better organization than speaking before writing. So, what was there? Anyhow, this section is the most challenging to me. So I did my best to fit in the time and do all that was required. And there was an epic fail. In the test center, you're provided with the equipment that you are unfamiliar with. So the keyboard was abominable. I used to type on my lovely Mac keyboard, and it was so hard for me to adapt for there. And I accidentally turned on caps lock and spent some time figuring out how to turn it off. So prepare yourself that you wouldn't have your favorite keyboard with you Fortunately, the topics weren't overly complex, so I managed to write a proper response with proper examples. At least I hope. And finally, speaking, the section that I actually love, especially the interview. So the topic was familiar. And I just enjoyed my speaking time with my speech flow. I didn't have any difficulties with interview. However, I screwed up. I think I screwed up the last sentences in listen and repeat. And actually, I hate this task because it seems like it is testing my memory capacity rather than my speaking abilities. So, ew, TOEFL. That was a bad idea. So, let's move on to the pitfalls of a test center. As you know, you could take a TOEFL test at home edition, and at a test center. And I will share you my test center experience. And believe me, this option isn't for everyone. I decided to take my TOEFL test in Bali while I'm wintering here. And I made this decision because, first of all, here in Indonesia, it is twice cheaper than in my native country. And I wanted to take the test in a test center because they are unavailable in my native country. The first thing you need to be aware about is that you are taking your test simultaneously with other participants. So in my case, there were 4 besides me. The temp might be different. If you are still reading, someone already moved on to the listening and you hear their audio. Or you're still typing and someone is already speaking and it couldn't distract more. So if you can't abstract from it, don't take your TOEFL test in a sense of please, it would kill your score. Not because your English is bad, just because you can't concentrate properly. Next, as I already mentioned, you have to cooperate with unfamiliar equipment like computer, mouse, and especially keyboard. And it could affect significantly on your typing speed. Be prepared. And last but not the least, it was so cold there. Air conditioning was doing its best. And I actually regretted that I didn't take something warmer than just a t-shirt. So seems like that's it. I hope this video would prevent you guys from disadvantages I faced and will give you the best TOEFL experience possible. The tips and strategies I used during my TOEFL test I would share in the next video. Bye!